Sorry, folks, let me just get this set up. Let me just get this set up. Yeah, so one of the things I want to make sure that is clear is that what I'm trying to cover here is we're going to cover the things that are important to you as a traveler. Yeah, so one of the things all right. So I just want to clarify. So all the things that we're going to be covering will be things that are probably the latest and the greatest. So today I wanted to talk about Air France's transfer. We can talk about Hyatt if you would like, about the mattress run. So on Sunday, what I do on Sunday morning is I kind of give you guys a chance to ask the questions that you want to ask. If you don't have questions, then I can obviously go on to the things I think are important. But if you folks have questions specifically about something that you want to understand better, this is kind of your chance to kind of bring up a topic that you think is of interest or you had questions about, and then we'll kind of try to go about and answer those type of questions. So it's kind of AMA, Ask Me Anything. But at the same time, those who are in the mentorship too also have an opportunity to learn. And so I'm working with a project with them right now. Like Peggy did a project on a core program. And so you have a chance to present in front of the mentorship as well. So if you folks have questions, I'm going to take a look at the chat right now, see if there is a question on there. Hyatt said Carlos says he's on a mattress run right now for Hyatt, staying at a junior suite, free breakfast for $90 a night. Oh, that's awesome. Carlos, are you working on Globalist? Is that where you're at?
The last Globalist challenge, the end of last year, and now I'm working on the Built. Well, actually, Built starts on the 17th, but I'm just kind of getting my nights up. I want to get the Built Globalist and maybe one suite upgrade certificate for next year is kind of what I'm working on.
Okay, so you're gonna actually go for the full Globalist then. You're not just doing the
yeah. I might go short. I mean, I like having that Built in my back pocket. And then
insurance policy.
Yep, exactly. You taught me well, so
that's good. I love it. I love it. And Peggy asked which one, if you don't mind sharing.
Yeah, no, St. Louis, the Hyatt Regency. I'm directly looking at the arch right now.
Nice, beautiful. Have you gone up the arch yet?
Later on after this, I was going to go up.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I've stayed there before too. Just be careful. Don't go on the east side of St. Louis.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I used to work for a company. We had a convention at St. Louis. I don't know what we were thinking. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, cool. We talk about by the way, how many nights are you in right now this year?
I am at 15. I was trying to do the 5 a night, like you kind of suggested, to kind of break it up. And then with the double nights, the 3,000 for 2 nights promotion, I had to do business down here Thursday, and I was like, I'll just stay the whole weekend. And it was so cheap. I was like, why not? Like it's crazy. So
that is really good for a Hyatt Regency, folks. Yep. If you're not familiar with Hyatt Regency, like in the scheme of it, I would say I probably spend more nights, Carlos, at a Hyatt Regency than any other brand.
Really?
Generally, yeah. I mean, like out of all the brands within Hyatt, I probably stay at more Hyatt Regencies than any other brand.
That's a nice sweet spot. It is.
Yes, it is. Lolita says, just change conversation for a sec. She's like, is there any other American airline instant pass coming soon? Yes and no. Let me Lolita asked you the question about the instant pass. And if you're not familiar with the instant pass American offers kind of like this is a problem with status matches. This is what Americans trying to address right now with status matches. They're basically saying, if you want to become an American Airlines elite, if we status match you from Delta, if we status match you from United, if you were trying to do it in a shorter form, like what we're doing with a lot of these things, the problem is you're going to do it and then you won't fly with us, or potentially you won't fly with us again a lot like that for another year and a half, right? And it's possible. It's possible. Now, I wouldn't go about to go all the way, go get it and to not fly it at all and use the benefits, but some people do. So American came up kind of with this idea that says, why don't you do a little bit and we'll extend it for 4 months. And then you do a little bit more and we'll extend it for 4 months. And you do a little bit more and we'll extend it for 4 months. So it's just kind of like a little bit at a time deal. I'm not really all that excited about it, be honest with you, because it's like it doesn't really give you the full, like it kind of gives you crumbs and you have to go get the crumbs, if that makes sense. If you know what I mean. So I'm personally more of a fan to go for the whole thing and the whole shebang, and if we don't have a ton of questions, but you know, we can get into that a little bit, but I'm not, they have it, by the way, Lily. If that's the question, you can go get it. I'm just not a fan of it. You can call them up. Oh, and the other thing, if I'm not wrong, I believe they charge money for it. If I'm not wrong, I think they charge money for the
That's correct. Yeah, I
instant
get an
pass.
email. I get an email once a month to upgrade for like $300 or something like that.
Yeah, so I'm not a fan of it. It's interesting, but I think there's other ways to go do it. And I think you can go get it for the entire year, you know, a year and a half, as opposed to doing the instant pass route. So I think for those who are not aware, I think they'll go the instant pass route. And if you're interested in kind of diving dive, by the way, I am, you know how this past month I did a World of Hyatt House class, and then I did the Globalist class this past month. I'm looking forward to kind of doing more of those specialty classes in the upcoming year. So I'll have the hotel masterclass, I'll have the points masterclass, and I've kind of keeled back. Instead of doing that twice a month each class, I've decided I'm going to do that once a month, and then I'll throw in more of the specialty classes, if that makes sense. So the way I did the Hyatt class, I'll probably be doing one on American Airlines. Okay, I'll be doing one on American Airlines. And for some of you who came in under the special the last time, I promise you this, I have not forgotten about you. When I have it, I will definitely launch it out, and some of you will already have enrollment into that. If you're a mentorship student, you'll have access to that as well. So a lot of good things about being a mentorship student if you're interested. It's a monthly subscription. Let's see here. What question? Ellery says, Happy Easter. I've been following Ben's journey, expertise, and points of miles for many years. Learning someone with vast knowledge can be incredibly valuable. Thank you, Ellery. I appreciate that testimonial. Let's see. Iris, I am a Build Globalist. I'm in the Build Globalist Hyatt program. Okay, actually, that's really good question. How many here signed up for the free Build Hyatt? It was only a small window. I'm curious. So if you can raise your hand, or you can put a comment in the chat. I just love to see how many people are in that Hyatt Build Globalist run right now. Iris, we got Iris. You can raise your hand, or you can put a comment. Carlos said he registered. Nikki said he registered. Okay, Winnie registered. Good. Alan did. Okay, we got a few. So one of the specialty classes, good seeing you, Eller. One of the specialty, Michael, welcome for joining. Michael's a mentorship student. I just asked the question right now, who signed up for the Built Hyatt challenge? If you did, just kind of raise your hand or put comment. Okay, so quite a bit of people signed up for it. It was free, by the way, but it was only good for 5 days. Like you had to sign up for it. It was free, but you had to sign up for it. Now we have to go into the strategy. Now, some of you have taken the Hyatt class that I just put together and the Road to Globalist class. If you haven't, reach out to me. You can order the recording if you missed it. Lolita says, I made Globalist during the mattress run. Wow. Lolita, is that prior? Obviously, like for the last promo, is that what it was, Lolita? I just want to clarify. Yes, okay. So you're Globalist right now then, Lolita? I'm guessing you made the run. Yes, okay, good. Okay, good. So we have a few Globalists in here. You'll be surprised, by the way, everyone, how many people I had in the Globalist class that were not Globalists. And I think to myself, even if you're a Globalist, you come take the class because now you have the status. What are you gonna go do with it? Like, how are you gonna use it? How are you gonna choose a hotel? You don't just walk in there, you know, like, so even if you went Globalist like, if you're like Peggy and you've been doing it for years, okay, maybe you can wing it. But I mean, if you're brand new to Hyatt, I'm like, come take the class, because you're gonna figure out how it works and what you need to do and how to use it. There's a lot of things on that. So yes, Iris. So if you want to come take, I ran the class this last week. So if you are interested, let me know afterward. I can definitely get you the recording. Just order the recording. I'll get that for you, and we'll cover it. It'll be 3. I've kind of put it together. So it's the House of Hyatt, which is 2 days about everything about Hyatt, and then the third day is about how to get and the strategy to get to globals using the Built Rewards program. So I think we went over it for it was a 2-hour session on how to become a globalist using the Built Reward program. I mean, I covered everything, so I thought we did. Okay. So Lolita, Iris, after we're done, absolutely reach out to me and I'll get you guys the class. Okay. And Enrique as well. Yeah. If you guys all signed up for it, I cover in detail about the whole promo. But let's see here. What else? I will say this. This is one thing that I will say. It is rare for Hyatt to offer a promo to everyone. It is very rare. So that's what made this particular run special, because it was open to everyone. All you need to do was download the Built app. That was it. As long as you download the Built app and you registered, you're in. But the way they limited it is they said, we're only going to open the window for 5 days. So unless you registered during those 5 days, it was like, I was almost like, just register for it anyway, and then figure it out later if you're going to make the run or not, because there's no harm in at least registering for it. But at this point, everything is closed out at this point. Chris, good seeing you. Welcome. And so just kind of give folks an idea when it comes to that. All right. Let's see here. Do we have any questions about any of the promos are going on right now? Anyone? You guys can go off camera but we just want to cover just that for a second. Any questions about Hyatt? By the way, let me just clarify. We're in the class. We covered Vegas. We talked about that. We talked about looking for other runs that were less expensive, even internationally, and things like that. Michael, go ahead.
Yes, I wasn't clear on I registered with this Built promotion, and if you remember, I achieved globalist at the end of last year for the first time with the mattress run. How are they supposed to notify you if they've accepted your registration before the 17th?
So they did not put anything from what I saw about a limitation about if you've already done a status challenge before, if you're a globalist currently. Like, there was no verbiage from my understanding that had a limitation on that. So I anticipate most people to qualify. I anticipate most people. Now, if you're not a good standing member of the World Hyatt program, if you're, if there are probably some circumstances where they're going to maybe disqualify you, okay? Maybe you try to game their system or whatever, all these kind of things that they could maybe run through a list. Maybe they're going to look through the blacklist and say, oh, no, not this person. Because remember, they did open up to everyone. Like, it didn't matter who you were. So I think that's the reason what they're doing between now and April 17th. They're probably going to go look at the list and see if you're on some kind of blacklist or something for Hyatt. But I anticipate most people, or at least the people here, to all be accepted. I don't see that being an issue.
I mean, I was unsure as how they said they're going to let you know if you've been accepted. Is it in the web, a separate email saying yes, you're eligible, or somehow on the World of Hyatt app do they let you know? That's what I wasn't sure of.
Yes, there is. Yeah, they'll probably send out an email most likely. I don't think it'll be in the app, but it'll be in the email. I'm pretty sure, Michael, on the day of the 17th, they'll be probably post, and we'll probably talk about it. We're all waiting for the 17th to roll around. So I don't think you need to worry. I think we're all going to probably talk about, we're all going to be registered. Now, keep in mind with the promo, you do need to do one, there is a concurrent promo running with it right now, which is a bonus journey, which is additional points. So you're going to be able to stay and earn status. And at the same time, you're getting extra 1,500 points per night coming back to you. So whether you're booking a cheap hotel room, like Carlos said, in Mexico, we talk about that. Yes, Carlos, we talk about properties in Mexico and and things like that for low cost. So we do cover all that as well. Yeah. And so we're going to cover that, and then the bonus points that you'll be able to get. So it's kind of in detail. So you have to kind of go back and watch, Michael. So once you do, you'll kind of get everything. Lilia says, which height do you like in Spain? I poured in Barcelona in September. Actually, Spain nowadays actually has a lot of properties. There are a lot of what they call SLHs, small luxury hotels, but there's a few in Madrid that are actually Hyatt branded. There's a Thompson Madrid, there's a Hyatt Centric in Madrid, there's a Hyatt Regency. But if you're in Barcelona, I think they did open up one recently in Barcelona at a Hyatt Regency out there as well. But there's actually in the south, which is pretty interesting. There's this Alua brand, which is their all-inclusive brand. And I don't know if anybody's done a review with them lately. I don't think they're at the highest level like Zilara, but they're probably in the dreams category, like a category, like a 4-star. But they have these all-inclusives in Spain. So if you go to like toward Valencia, farther south, like Granada, I think you're going to find a bunch of them. There's at least like, I kid you not, I think there's about 7 to 10 hotels in the southern part of Spain now that are Hyatt branded. So I think we have about like 20 now in Spain, which we had none before. Now we do. Okay, Carlos did talk about that. I'm working with Travel York. Travel York. Is that the name of the agency you're working with, Lolita? Nikki says Sophia Hotel in Madrid. Nikki, I'm assuming that's a SLH, right? I think I heard of them as well. I haven't stayed there in that property. Oh, Michael Travels Org. Yes, Michael's great. Yeah, check with Michael on that one. All right. Let me just see here. Welcome. Let's see here. I am going to share a couple screens. Let me see here. By the way, Michael, welcome back. Are you back on your trip already, or are you still on the road?
No, I got back earlier this week.
Oh, where are you at now?
I'm at home.
Oh,
yeah, I'm back at home in Virginia.
Oh, nice. How was your trip? You went all around, didn't you? The cruise and everything?
No, this was a escorted tour, bus group with a tour guide and all that. But yeah, hit Central Europe with Poland, Austria, Budapest, Germany.
Nice. How many countries?
Enjoyed it. The weather. That's the only thing. The weather was going to cool and overcast and rainy most of it, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. I just love the area. That's first time going there.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Thank you. Welcome to have back. Michael will be doing a presentation soon. I give him a chance when he comes back. But you want to tell everyone what are you presenting on, by the way, Michael?
Yeah, I'll be presenting on like TSA pre-check global entry in the CLEAR program, basically the benefits of that and how it works.
We have to add one thing. There's a latest thing coming out. You're going to need to add in your presentation. They're in discussion right now of
combining
TSA and CLEAR working
CLEAR.
It's kind of a contentious situation where one is a private company, one's a public company, and they're sharing one line, right? They share one line, but they're two companies, one's government and one's private. And it's almost like, we could do better than you do.
I'm not
one is like
understanding how that's going to work.
One is not. Yeah, so it's really interesting to see. So you may want to kind of cover a little of that too, just talk about that, because it looks like they're going to kind of, in the app, I think they're going to allow one of them to do the screening. You know how you have to do TSH, the TSA interview? They may let CLEAR do the TSA interview now for you. So you can get approved by CLEAR for TSA pre-check. So that'll be interesting.
I saw that.
Interesting right? It's an interesting development.
Developing.
So, yeah, please put that one in there, because I think that's an interesting one. Now they have a new place to go get registered. It'll make it more streamlined, so that'll be interesting. All right. I think Iris asked if you could stay at a Hyatt place in LA for the program. Yes, you can. I would just say, just to remind everyone, you cannot, it won't count unless it starts the 17th of April and beyond. If you do any stay before then, it won't count toward the global status. So you can go stay, absolutely, and you can go get bonus points, you can, but you will not get the count towards global status until April 17, and that'll go to July 16, okay? Lolita said, sign up for global entry. That's smart. Says you already have clear. That's awesome. Lolita, you sound like someone that would be good for the mentorship. Look, you've been doing a lot of things. So that's good to hear. All right, let's see here. Do we have any questions? Any other questions before I just had a couple things I wanted to cover, but more than happy. This is your time. You know, I usually do a lot of the talking, but it's your time. If folks have specific questions, feel free to ask. Okay. If not, then, yeah.
Any new credit card offers have your interest? I know, is there a new American one that's...
You guys know how much I love American Airlines. Not necessarily flying American Airlines, like I love it. Like I don't mind flying American. I fly it enough to know, but the Mile program is a fantastic program, and it's been a long time coming, honestly, to see a good bonus. I'm not saying 50,000 is not good, but a lot of the other brands have moved beyond 50, so that 50 and 60 kind of look like 60 was really good. Like I would hold off until 60 with AA. So now that they're offering 75 from the normal 50, that's literally a 50% increase of points on a sign-up bonus that you normally don't get. And they actually have like 4 credit cards. They have the Platinum Select, they have the Executive, which gives you lounge. They have a Mile Up card that you can use at the grocery store. And then they have a Citi Business card. So there's 4 cards you can go get in the Citi AA world, each. You can go get each one of them. Now, the one that they're offering the extra bonus is on the Platinum Select. That's the one that gives you free bag, priority for a category 4, group 4 boarding on the plane. It almost kind of gives you kind of like status like you're gold without having gold. You just have the credit card. And I think one of the most powerful things it has that a lot of people don't recognize is that if you have the credit card, your miles will not expire. If you have the AA credit card, your miles will not expire, because normally you have to like, I get these notices in the mail right now, like, because I manage my wives, my daughter, my in-laws, that I manage all their cards because they don't keep track of that stuff. And every 18 months, if they're not flying, especially during the pandemic, if they're not flying, those miles can expire. So that means they got 30,000 here or 20,000 here, and they're all going to expire. So if you have the credit card, that prevents it from canceling. So, or you could do other things like do a survey, go buy something from the shopping portal, fly, redeem. I mean, any kind of activity will keep it from expiring. But if they're not flying and they're not doing any of those things, and my mind's not on my mother-in-law's mileage, those things could easily expire. Delta does not, just let you know. So that's a good thing. I mean, I hope American gets to that point where it doesn't expire, but I don't anticipate Americans' mileage going to like that point anyway. This is the thing, the easier it is to keep them, let me explain a little the economics of it. The mileage program is a liability on their books for an accountant, because that's those are flights they owe you. Does that make sense? When you have mileage and you haven't used them yet, they potentially owe you a flight. Does that make sense? So the reason that they have these expirations is hopefully you don't fly and then they expire and then they win like a champ. Does that make sense? So your job is to not let your miles expire, because if you let the miles expire, the accountants win. Okay, don't let the accountants win. So that's why I did the reel the other day about Award Wallet. It'll remind you your miles going to expire. So if you folks follow the Award Wallet, Award Wallet, my reels too, I'm giving you guys hints to remind you of like things that you need to go do. Okay, in case. Okay, I did one on I didn't realize this icon card from Unity, which you can get when you do a status match at MGM. What I didn't realize was that when I signed up for it, it was in January, right? and the darn thing expires like February. I didn't realize they gave it because it was in that month. It was in that month where they reset. So if you go now, you'll have it for the whole year. But I went there like in the month, but I happened to be there in the month, and it expires. So they only gave me the card for like 1 month. So I have to go back again and renew. But here's the thing. If you want to go get there, if you go do this and you have MGM, you can get a match. And for those who are not familiar with status matches, I cover more in the hotel masterclass. But if you have a status match, what the idea of the status match is this. If I'm a competing hotel, well, actually, before let me take a step back before that. Let me tell you what's going on with this one. So MGM has a partnership with Hyatt. Why do they have a partnership with Hyatt? Because they don't want any other hotel brand coming on the strip. That's the real difference. That's the real reason. MGM has a monopoly on the strip. They own 11 hotels. 11 hotels on the strip. Which ones, Ben? Mandalay Bay, Delano, Nomad, Park MGM, you like Bellagio, they're one, Aria, Vdara, New York, Excalibur, Luxor. They like a whole, like they own everything. They own everything. You think they're gonna let Marriott come in and build hotels next to them? Get the hell out of here. Hilton, no way. So that's why they're not in Vegas. You know what they said? We're gonna go team up with the little ones. MGM, let me deal with Hyatt. Why? Because Hyatt got nothing on Hyatt has nothing in Vegas. They can't do anything. But great for us. Great for us. In Vegas, Hyatt members, the king. The king, the queen, for sure. Marriott got one hotel in Vegas, the Cosmopolitan, which, by the way, MGM decided, we're going to go buy that one too. So now Cosmo is going to become MGM. Okay? And then now, but they're still going to give Marriott members earnings so that those people at least earn something. Okay. Now, when it comes to the other competitor, you got Caesar's Palace, Caesar's Rewards. So Caesar's is a competitor to MGM on the strip. They got Bally's, they got Caesar, they got Planet Hollywood, they got Paris, you know. So between those two brands, they pretty much cover the whole strip. Between those two brands, and you know who they did? Not Marriott, no, not Hilton, no. We're gonna go do a deal with Wyndham Hotel. So if you want status with any one of these two, you want status with any one of these two programs, you have to get Wyndham or you have to have Hyatt to get in to Vegas, if that makes sense. So once you get in with Wyndham or you get in with Hyatt, you can get into Vegas. Now, Ben, why do I care about Vegas? Because Vegas has some cheap nights for you to go stay at. Because who's going to Vegas on a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right? Nobody. So the room rates like at the Excalibur can be $20. So I cover it more into the hotel class. We'll go into like all that kind of stuff. So you can get cheap nights and you can get status with and then you can use your cheap night status. You can use your cheap nights to go earn status, which when you're ready to make a redemption, whether it be points or miles or cash, at the nice hotels, you'll get free breakfast, you'll get room upgrades. So here, you guys follow what's happening over there. So you do need to get one of those. Either you go into Wyndham or you go into Hyatt. And then so they have a whole thing I'm going to cover more. I think I'm going to redo, by the way, the whole status match, merry-go-round deal, because if you can get into Caesars, there's a whole cruise thing going on. If you like to cruise, you can get free cruises and free hotel rooms. Yeah. Because what? Let me tell you why. Because what do people do on a cruise other than eat and dance? What do? They have a what? A casino. They have a casino there. So the casino, right? If you don't mind, and you're in a captive audience, you're on a boat, you can't go anywhere. And if you like to gamble and they got tables and slots in front of you, guess what you're gonna go do? You're gonna go play. So those cruises want all the people who go back gamble at MGM and Caesars to come over there too. Does that make sense? They said, oh, you have status, that means you spend money, right? Come gamble on the boat. And if you gamble on the boat, guess what? I'm going to give you upgraded room, balcony room, blah, blah, blah room. You want they're a hotel, they're a floating hotel. So the cruises and the gambling They're to get, they got great deals. They got great deals. So if you like to cruise, they got great cruise deals for you all the time. Okay, so just give you an idea. So any place where they're like, so the Atlantis and Bahamas, they have casino there too. So they give you free Bahama Atlantis deal. Yeah. Anyway, folks, I'm this month. Okay, so this month I'm doing my new. I'm gonna kind of redo the whole. I'm not redoing the whole thing, but I'm redoing at least the part where we're going to talk about status matches. So this month's hotel masterclass, I'm going to talk more about that part of it, the free cruises and the status matches and things like that. So I'll kind of take some time on that one. So that in that sense, we are going to redo that part of the hotel masterclass. All right. Let's see here. Nikki said you have a flight question. Yes, by the way, Michael. Yes, and if you go get that, okay, so here's the thing. I told you all that because if you have Hyatt status, then they'll give you gold status from MGM. And then one of the properties at the Strip is called the Mirage. The Mirage is one of the ones that MGM owns, but they just sold it. I don't know. They just sold it, and it's now becoming a Hard Rock hotel. But they're not changing it completely, so it's still in the middle. It'll be like 2-3 years before they completely. So they're calling it the Mirage. They're calling it the Hard Rock at the Mirage. That's what it's called now. The Hard Rock at the Mirage. And then they have their own loyalty program called Unity. Now, if you go East Coast, it's called Hard Rock Royalty, okay? It's a different name. That's the old program. The new program is called the Unity program. Now, if you're in the East Coast, if you can get Atlantic City, I say go do that. But if you're in LA or if you're in the West Coast, then go get your Unity card. If you go get your Unity card, you'll get $100 food and beverage for free, just for switching over. So they're switching over everyone. You just bring your MGM card and then they'll move you over because they're getting rid of MGM. But if you're in the East Coast, if you're closer to Atlantic City, you may want to go get the Hard Rock Royalty because that one is the old program. And then you can always move from the old still to here. So it's like one extra step to get. And if I'm not wrong, I think they're going to give you some free night at the Wynn, which is really cool. All right. All right. All right. Iris, your mom needs to have at least platinum status I'm sorry, diamond status with Caesar, okay, at least, or higher, but definitely diamond can get you there, okay? Let's see, Nikki, you said you have a flight question. Go ahead. What is your flight question, Nikki?
Hi, Ben. How are you? This is Nicole.
Hey, Nicole, how are you?
Good. Okay, so Flying Blue has that promo, and I got an incredible deal going to Europe.
Nice.
But I have.
She hung up.
We just lose her? We lose her?
Yeah, we just lost her.
Right in the middle of the question. Oh, no. Oh, no. Maybe she'll come back. Flying Blue.
Oh, there she is. She's connecting. Okay, welcome back, Nicole.
Welcome
Sorry,
back.
Ben. I got
No
disconnected.
No worries. We're like listening intently right in the middle of your question. Like, what happened?
Okay, I can get flights back home for cash 2,600 on Norse, or 110,000 points and $1,100 from Dublin. Is it like 6 of one, half dozen of the next, pick my poison kind of thing?
So you said that let's just do a quick calculation for everyone. Okay, let's do this. You said it was like 2,600?
2,600.
2,600 cash, and then versus what?
110,000 points and $1,100.
Okay. So when I do the math on these kind of things, okay, Nicole brings up a really good question. Sometimes you're going to see here's what it would be on cash. And then here's what it would be cash with points, because many times, even when you use points, everyone, you still have to pay some type of cash. It's not 100% free. Okay. It's like cash, it's points, but then you have to pay taxes or fuel surcharges or carrier and post surcharges. So there's some of that. So when I do the math, she said 2,600. So you guys can write 2,600. And the other one was 110,000. What kind of points are those? Is that the Flying Blue?
It's going to be British Airways, Avios on American Airlines. So I would transfer from Amex.
So, so you're going to do BA. Are you flying through London Heathrow?
Yeah.
And are you flying BA metal or AA?
AA.
Oh, you're flying A, okay. And this is for how many? 4?
4, yeah.
And they're same seats?
They're what seats?
They're similar in seats?
Yeah, it's coach.
You flew Norse on the way there. How did you like it? Let me just start off with that.
I did love it, but no, they spoiled me because round trip for 4 people was $1,500. So $2,600 one way, that's double the price for half the product. I guess because it's in the middle of summer, so it's peak season.
Okay, so this is what I normally would do. So I'm gonna take 2,600, I'm gonna subtract the 1,100 because now we're down to like, 15. So because they both have a cash component, so I'm really comparing, I'm gonna deduct 1,100 from the 2,600 because that 2,600, they both have a cash component. So really I'm comparing 1,500 to 110,000. Does that make sense? I'm gonna deduct.
Yes, and as
100.
soon as you
Okay.
said that, like my wheels are turning.
Does that make sense, math teacher? I'm really comparing $1,500 versus 110 because both of them have a cash component. So I'm going to deduct the 1,100 on the north side as well. So now I'm
Right.
down to either I'm paying 110,000 points versus $1,500. Okay, so then this is where I do the math. So I'll take 110. I'm sorry, I'm going to take 1,500 divided by.
So we're at 150, 1,500
Yeah, so I'm gonna
110.
take 1,500 and I'm gonna divide it by 110,000. So that means I'm getting a 1.3 cent valuation per point on my British Airway point. So that, to me, that's kind of how I would just, if I'm gonna do straight math, I'm not thinking about all the product, I'm just doing straight math. I'm getting a 1.3 cent value or 1.4, let's just round it, 1.4 cent, which is okay. I would say that 1.7 is more normal, but we can now. Both products are the same. It's a okay valuation. It's not like stellar. It's not like 2 cents or anything like that. But then again, this is what happens when we're using points for cash. I mean, I'm sorry, when we use points for economy. I would say that generally speaking, you're probably going to get a 1.5 to 1.7 cent valuation when it comes to economy. If you're going to try to get a better value out of it, it's a different story. Now, the BA, let me ask you this. When you transferred to the BA, were you able to transfer those points to BA prior, like when there was a bonus? Or were you just transferring now with no bonus?
No bonus. Now that you said it out loud, I'm thinking those BA points can be used and get something with a higher valuation. And it's probably better to use those Amex points on something, maybe business class or something.
I
It's
would
better
say, I would agree. I would tend to agree with you, Nicole. I would say that I would probably save them for a time when, now, here's the only caveat to the whole thing. Ben, I don't want to spend cash 2,600. Okay, if that's the case, then we know where we're going to go. But if you go, I have other trips planned. I think I can save those points for because how many times does Amex have a transfer to Avios with a 30% bonus? Almost like regularly. And if that's the case, I would just save it for then when that time comes. So are you flying there during recent, like coming up soon, or is this like farther down the line, like this next year kind of thing?
Oh no, this is for August. So
Okay.
we got a great deal going, like 51,000 points on Flying Blue, but coming back. The other thing is to hold out, maybe last minute. So I'm gonna give it one more month. I don't know if Norse is gonna go up. Maybe next month Flying Blue will have something special.
None of the Flying Blue specials could get you there, Nicole?
Say that again.
You couldn't find anything with the Flying Blue promos right now at the time?
I think it's my dates don't work. No.
Got it. So yeah, that's the other thing. If you have tight time frames, then that makes it challenging too. Here's the thing, everyone. I think this is a really important point, which doesn't get said enough. And I think Nicole's making a very, very good point on this one. If you folks are flexible, if your dates are like whenever, okay, if that's the case, you know what I usually do, folks? If your dates are set, cash is going to probably be best for you because you have all the dates available. You can pick any time, and then you also earn miles as well. Although Norse, I don't even know if they have do they even have a loyalty program, Nicole?
No, they don't.
I do. Maybe one day, right? I'm like, they're just happy they're flying. They're just happy that they're flying. Norse, by the way, folks, if you're not familiar, they're a new discount airline. You can kind of call them the new Norwegian airline. If you guys remember Norwegian Air, they were really flying cheap flights prior to the pandemic. There used to even be another Icelandic airline called WOW. Remember WOW? One time I was in Boston. That's where their home base was. And I was staying at the Hyatt Regency Boston, and I came down and I saw these flight attendants, and I literally said, wow. I literally said, wow. I mean, I was like, wow. Like the guys were like, you guys ever watch that like Superman, what's that superhero movie? The Boys, the one that's on Amazon. It has like it's like the alter ego version of superheroes. It's like an adult superhero show. Anyway, there's this main character. He's like a pseudo Superman, but he's like blonde hair, blue eye. He looks like I'm telling you, when I saw them, and then the men and the women, both the pilots, and I was like, they look like they walked out of a magazine. I was just like, wow. I was like, stopped for a second and looked at them, and I told the checkout agent, I'm like, who are they? And they go, oh, that's the WOW crew. And I was like, wow, they live up to their name. To their name. Well, if you're seeing like tall, beautiful, they were like Look Out magazine. Okay, let's see here. Let's see here. Rika says, if you're doing a mattress run Excalibur, it's a way to avoid daily fee. Yes, if you have MGM Gold. Yes, if you have MGM Gold, you can. So we have to make sure we match and get to MGM Gold. Can you review the new smaller airline you mentioned, similar to Spirit, flies into smaller cities? Oh, you want to talk about Avelo? Okay, so let's quickly talk about Avelo then. Nicole, did we answer your question? Are we good?
I did have a follow-up, but I didn't want to be obnoxious and monopolize the call.
Is it a quick one, or is it like a more long, extended one?
I will ask it, and then you can answer it later. So if you buy a round trip ticket on like American Airlines, like, can you change your return date after you fly one leg?
And is this a cash ticket, or are we talking about a mileage ticket? Can you change your what? I'm sorry. What are we trying to change?
The return leg. So like, let's say I fly today and my return leg is a week from now. Can I call them later, pay a fee, and change the return date?
Just the date, not the location. Just the date,
Correct.
Right? Yeah. Change date. You absolutely can. However, they will most likely. Well, first of all, this is a question. Did you buy economy or basic economy? Because the basic economy is non-refundable. I'm sorry, non-changeable. It is cancelable, but it is non-changeable. So basic economy is a no. Economy is a yes if you bought regular economy, but they're going to reprice it to whatever it is. And I don't know if that's ever a good thing when you're trying to do it, that close in. So my answer to you in that particular case is that it's probably not likely. You're probably most likely going to do a cancellation of the ticket, get the credit, and then rebook it on another airline. Why rebook another airline, Ben? Because then now you have more options than just looking at whatever American option is. Now, I'm not saying you can't, but they will reprice it if that's the question.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys Avelo. So, by the way, I do not think Avelo is ever going to be your go-to airline. Let me just start off with that. They don't fly enough places that's your go-to airline. But here's the thing. My wife's been wanting to go to like Yosemite, I'm not saying, but wine country. You want to go to Jackson Hole, you want to go to the outdoorsy. The problem with a lot of these places is that it's pretty expensive to go there, and then you have to drive. You got to rent a car and you got to drive, right? I mean, anybody who's ever had to do one of these like national park type of deals, it's always these kind of things. It's always like it's not as easy. It's just I'm going to fly in and look around. You're going to have to kind of plan it out a little bit. So to me, that's where Avelo comes in. You want to go to like secondary cities. You want to go to, they'll fly nonstop, no connections. They fly from a small airport to small airport. Why is that good? You don't have to worry about TSA pre-check and long lines and lost bags because it's, point to point. So I like it for those reasons. So if that is a trip you're planning, I think Avelo makes sense for that type of market. Does that make sense? Okay. So I just want to make sure we're aware, first of all, what I mean by that. So it's not, so when you're looking at the airport, I don't want you to think big airport, not big airport. See, Daytona Beach. Who the heck is flying in Daytona Beach? But if you ask where you want to go, New Haven, Connecticut, you go, it's a little bit outside of New York. So if those were already your destination, it's great. This is also good if you are a person that doesn't live near a major airport and you live at a smaller airport. These are all great things. So this is one of the things that they're doing. Now, you may be wondering why they're doing this. Because the gate fees that they have to pay, the gate, when they go to the gate, I've told you folks this in some of the classes that the gate is where they make the money. The airport makes money by selling gates. The gate fee for Avelo at a smaller airport is less expensive than a major airport. So for them to keep the cost low, they have to fly out of smaller airports. This is the reason why for a long time, Southwest flew out of Burbank or Long Beach or Dallas Love. They don't fly out of O'Hare. They fly out of Midway. Do you ever notice that they fly out of another airport? They fly out of another airport because gate fees are low. And that's how they keep the cost low. Now, so those are the things. So if you like flying in the small airports, that's great. Or if you need to fly in small airport, I want you to think about them the next time. They don't fly everywhere yet, but they're adding new ones all the time. And it's it is a low cost carrier. They do, they do have a lot of things. Let me just show you where they fly to, by the way. So let's just kind of cover it. Here's the map. So if you're in the middle of the country, I'm sorry, they don't really have in the middle of the country. But if you're in the West Coast, and they're really building on the East Coast, as you can see, but originally started on the West Coast. So you just look here. Let's say you're in LA. Where are you trying to get to? I'm not going into Denver, but I like to go to Colorado Springs. But by the way, if you want to go to Garden of the Gods in Colorado Springs, that's great. You can go straight in Colorado Springs. When I fly American, I have to fly into Denver, take a car and drive another 2 hours, an hour and a half. So if you're heading to Colorado Springs, this is perfect. It goes Burbank right in Colorado Springs, nonstop. Who's going to complain? If I want to go into Kalispell, Montana, I have a friend out there, but I don't know if everybody's trying to go there. Eugene, which is the capital of Oregon, Bend, Redmond, Pasco. What I find the interesting one is Sonoma. So if you're trying to get into wine country, if you're trying to get into Alila Ventana, you're trying to go Alila Ventana and go, oh, well, let me go to wine country first and then head over to Monterey. This is good, so you may want to do that one. So that's not a bad eat. They were doing, by the way, so I wish they did the Vegas run. I wish they did the Vegas run because if we Burbank to Vegas, it would be great. They were doing Burbank to Phoenix, but it was actually Burbank to Mesa, but it never picked up. I don't know why, because I thought Burbank to Phoenix, like via Mesa, would have been perfect. But they killed off that route. So we'll see. I don't know what it was, but there was a good route when they were. And if you're in Sonoma, you can go to Vegas. So that's the only Vegas. So if you want to go to Sonoma via Vegas, they do Vegas via Sonoma. Okay. You can look at other cities as well. They do Raleigh, there's a lot here in they're adding a lot in Florida and things like that. So Fort Lauderdale and things like that. Any questions? Oh, look, somebody says, yeah, they do fly. Wilmington, New Haven, where else? Wilmington, Raleigh. Yeah, and then New York, New Haven. All right. All right. I do want to add one thing. I find that I liked about Avelo. Unlike most of your low-cost carriers, Avelo is actually really friendly. Like I have to say, like, I remember where I'm like, wow, these people, they hired people who have like really good attitudes. Like, I'm gonna say, like, almost like Disney. Like when you walk in the Disney store and you're like, ooh, they're really friendly. That character, like they got like I felt like they may have because they're in Burbank. It's a Burbank location. I felt like they hired all the Disney people. They brought them over to come work at Avelo. Like I was like, oh, that's really impressed. So service was there. I give it that. Now, technology, they could have improved on. Maybe they have better now, but bags and stuff like that, it was now here's the thing. I love this about them because this is something that has been experimental, but it has been talked about for a long, long time. Here's it go. I think the biggest reason that most airlines, American airlines, not just American, but all US airlines, they have conditioned people to not check their bag. They want people to carry on. And so the smart travelers go, ooh, I'm going to carry on. The problem is the more and more people carry on onto a plane, the longer it takes to board. Because what happens is when they get on the plane, their section is full of people's bags. And so now they have to go look not only for their seat, but they have to look for a place to go put their bag. And sometimes they can't go backwards because there's a line of people. So they have to go forward. And now when they go forward, then they have to walk backwards. So this whole traffic jam of people, which when you multiply it by 100 people or 300 people, it takes a long time to board. So I always theorize that if they just got people to not check their bag, not carry on and check their bag, that would be a good incentive. So that's what Avelo does. Avelo says here, if you want to check your bag, we'll do it for less money than if you carry on your bag. So they charge you $15 to check in, $25 to carry on. If you want to carry on, you can. You just pay $25. But if you check in, it's like $15. They're going to assume that the people who want to take Avelo don't want to spend more. So then they'll check their bag. And you know what happens? It becomes really easy. Only the people who really ideally want to carry on, they can. But here's the second part of it. You're flying from small airport to small airport. You get off the plane, the bag is there. There's no need to worry about it. You're not going to get the bag lost and it's nonstop. So for me, they fixed the problem of people carrying on bags. They just check it in. So I think that, but do get there early because I think they're because a lot of people check in bags because of that, the line can get a little bit longer. So that's the only thing I make sure you're aware of. Okay. All right. Any other questions? We are down to the last couple minutes. I wanted to share one thing before we leave, and then it will be this. Let's see here. I'm going to show you this. Here's my little okay, I just have to share like this. I can't share.
You're already sharing.
I
No?
am. Am I already? Oh, I see. Yep, I am. I'll just share this from here. Sorry, can't share it. Anyway, this will be precursor, kind of the highlights of what I'm going to be covering in the AA course. Okay, so here's one of my tips. If you want to get AA or you want to fly AA, here's a tip. There's many times they're going to talk about this, okay? You're going to hear this in the advertisement. If you're an advantage member, you earn 5 miles. If you fly, you earn a 40% bonus. That's 7 miles. If you have platinum status, you earn more miles. All the way executive platinum, you're going to earn 11 miles. Okay? And you can fly American, and there's no problem with that. I've flown them a lot. But if you want to get status with them, you need to reach, like this one, gold, you need 40,000. Platinum, you need 125. Platinum Pro, 175, and then Executive Platinum, 200,000 points. Now you spend $1, you get 1 point. If you have their credit card, you spend $1, you earn 1 point. If you fly, you get more. You get $5 for every dollar you spend. I'm sorry, you get 5 miles, loyalty points for every dollar you spend. It's, Peggy, it's funny they put 5 miles when they don't even call it miles anymore. They call it points now. They call it loyalty points now. So I'm wondering why America even earn 5 miles, but they're earning basically every dollar you spend, you earn 5 points. And if you have status, you earn extra points. Okay. But here's the thing. If you really want to earn status with them, you don't have to fly American. Okay. Because American has a chart for their partners that is different than, okay. So let me give you the psychology behind why they do this. And this is what you're going to get in the class. The reason that American gives you miles or or potentially more miles when you fly a partner than when you fly American is because they don't know how much the other airline charged you to go fly. They don't. Okay. They don't know how much they sold it for. How can they? American is barely trying to keep track of their own fare. They don't even know how much. They have to look at these things called fare codes to see how much you paid and if you paid a good amount or not a good amount. Okay. So they have these things. Okay. So I just want to show you this. If you book economy, there's 3 kinds of discount economy. They call this deep discount. You see this G, O, and Q? This is a fare code that American has internally that tells them how much you paid. G, O, and Q. If you buy a G, O, Q, that's what it is. You know, by the way, I'm sorry. This is for the partner. For American, it looks like this. Here's American. American looks like this. SONGQ. Okay. That's their deep discount. And if you bought a discount, it goes VLG. Then you go full fare is a Y, W is premium economy. If you got a discount business is C. They even have discount on business class C, and then full fare is J, and then first class is F. There's more codes, but this is the general idea. Okay. That tells them how much you paid. That tells them too who gets upgraded. That tells them a lot of things. And within it, there's a lot of complex stuff. But what I'm trying to tell you is this. When you fly a partner, they have no clue about this stuff. They have no clue. So you know what they do? They give you miles based on how far you flew. They give you miles based on how far you flew. So let me give you an example. So Ben, how does that help me? Well, what if you found an international flight, which is a lot of miles, but for really cheap on American? Well, American would base your earnings based on how much you flew, okay? Based on how much you flew. So nothing to do, I'm sorry, if it's on American, they would base on how much you spend. But if you did it on an airline that wasn't theirs, like a partner, like another airline that was in the one world, then they would give it to you based on how far you flew, okay? So that's my point I'm trying to say. So why does that make a difference? Because here's the thing. If you got elite bonuses, like let's say you were gold or platinum pro and executive platinum, you're going to get extra points on top of that. So this is what it looks like. Okay. By the way, there are a couple airlines that you don't want to do this on. Okay. If you're flying Cathay Pacific and economy and you fly any of these fare codes, you will not earn any points on a partner. So you don't want to fly economy on Cathay. You don't want to fly economy on Malaysia. You don't want to fly economy on Royal Jordanian, S7, or Sri Lankan if you bought any of these airfare codes. Okay, so you don't want to do that. Okay, and then you don't want to do it on a non-alliance partner. So these are partners of American that are not in the One World Alliance, but they're earning Etihad, Fiji, Hawaiian, and China Southern. So these airlines, once again, not airlines that you want to fly if you're trying to earn loyalty points. Okay, but if you do fly Cathay in business, Cathay in premium economy, you're going to get 100% of your base miles. And if you are in premium economy, they're giving you another 50% bonus. You're making 150% of the mileage. So let me give you an example. Let's say I'm flying 10,000 miles. 100%, that means 10,000 points, right? 10,000 miles, 100% of it, I'm getting 10,000 points. And because I'm in premium economy, I get 50%. Now, if I just bought regular economy, I would get 100%, but premium economy, I'm getting 150. If I flew business, I'm getting 100 and 150. I'm going to get 250%. Basically, what I'm saying is that you can earn a lot of miles in business class, flying Cathay business or Japan business on cash, on a cash ticket. Not only earn the miles, but you'll also earn status because this will get you there. So if you flew 10,000 miles, that's 10,000 right there, and then another 15,000. So now you earn 25,000 miles loyalty points. Okay, 25,000 loyalty points on your way to executive platinum. You know, so it's better than if you booked it on AA. And let's say you paid, you know, $1,000, and then if you had executive platinum status, where they can give you 11x. 11, that would only give you 11,000 points. So you would earn like double flying a partner airline. Now, the way you have to do this is you have to book it through a partner airline. You have to go their website, not the American website. You buy the American website, you're paying cash. If you book it through the, you're paying, they know what you paid. But if you go through Japan, they don't know what you paid. And you're gonna get this chart from an earning perspective. So you'll earn more miles flying partners than you will than if you book it from American flying a partner. Does it make sense? The only time you want to book a partner on American is if you're using mileage. But if you're using cash, you want to go to their website. Got it? Big tip for you today. Okay. All right. Thank you, Nicole. All right. So this is a little run at what I'm going to cover more and more in my AA class as we come into. I don't know if I'm going to have it this month, but I'll have it coming soon. I think, what is this? This is April. Probably won't be April, but maybe I'm looking at May or June in the middle of summer when we start talking about more about this. I have some other things I'm going. Oh, by the way, just give a quick announcement. I will be doing a reception, if you didn't see my reel, in DC. I'm going to be speaking at the Frequent Travel University on May 6th. So I am having a reception. If you're a mentorship group, you are invited. If you're not in the mentorship group, I have tickets available. If you are interested, reach out to me. It's not going to be much. I'm maybe, or talk to me about it. I can only take a few people. I mean, I'm not, even if I got the presidential, which is I'm working on right now, I have the ambassador room right now, but I'm working on their presidential room. I'm not within the realm yet, but I'm going to reach out soon. That place could probably fit max 30, 25, 30. I don't think I can take more than that. After that, they'll probably come in and the noise will probably get us shut down. So anyway, has anyone ever been at a suite reception in a hotel room when you have like 30 people in a room? Even if you guys were just talking and there's no music, the buzz of the sound of just people talking is enough that, so it's like, I think I'm going to probably hit about 30, probably max. So if you are interested, it's kind of one of those first come, first serve. I'll put you on the list. And then you can get tickets and things like that. But if you are coming, feel free, please let me know. Love to have you. I'm very likely, I'm going to have the speakers who are speaking at the event will be coming by. I can't tell you for how long, but I'm most likely going to have Stefan there. I'll have Rob, the Points Millionaire, there. Who else will I have? I'll probably invite Dia, who's the editor. She's a chief editor for Forbes Traveler. So you guys ever read any of the Forbes articles when it deals with travel? She's going to be a speaker. Dia's a friend of mine. I'll invite her. Maybe she'll come out. She's a local in the area. And then I have Aaron Hurd, who wrote for NerdWallet and Big Point Smiles guy. He already committed. He'll be coming down as well. So I'll have so this is a good opportunity for a lot of you to kind of meet the actual folks that do all the writing, that you can ask all the things you want. And that's always been my goal over here, is for you guys to get exposed and meet my network over here. So that's always been the thing. So I'd like to do more of it. And I'll be perfectly honest with you. Zoom is great. I'm glad I can get to everyone. But if we can, I'd love to do my classes in person, to be perfectly honest with you. I accept Zoom because that's what it is. That's where we're at. But as soon as we can start doing these classes in person, like I want to do a 2-day, we will do a 2-day live in person. I'm going to do my master class live in person. That's like what I'd love to do. I'm working with Nixon, who's one of my marketing guys right now that I'm working with. We're talking about putting an event together in Los Angeles, a mixer first, and then from our mixer in LA. So we'll do the one in DC. Then I'm going to do one in LA. I have to find a location in LA. So West Coast people, don't think I forgot about you. But I have more people on the East Coast. Believe it or not, I have more people on the East Coast who are our fans than I do on the West Coast. It's kind of crazy. I don't know what's going on here, but like a lot of New York people, we got a lot of people on the East Coast. So I actually anticipate the East Coast people will come out to this thing. I think it'll be great. So it'll be at the Park Hyatt. Okay, don't tell anybody, but it'll be at the Park Hyatt, folks. Okay, yeah. So I don't need people crashing the party. I only can take so many people, but it will be at the Park Hyatt. Oh, I'll say this: if you are coming, I'm probably going to run a contest for because I will be there Saturday and Sunday. So I'm going to probably run a contest for some of the folks in our mentorship group will have an opportunity, and then but everybody else here who's listening in, I'll probably be doing a contest soon because we'll have breakfast. So you'll have a Park Hyatt breakfast. So I'm going to do like a Park Hyatt breakfast contest and things like that Saturday and Sunday morning. So and it's great. The breakfast at the Park Hyatt in Washington, D.C. is stellar. Like, I'm choosing that location, not for the room. You know why I'm choosing that hotel? Because the breakfast is so good. That place is a local, like, you know, this is DC. This is like high powered politicians. They go eat at the breakfast there it's not even breakfast, eat breakfast, lunch. That place used to be a Michelin star restaurant. I don't know if they've won it still anymore, but like 2-3 years ago, they were like, they had a 1-star Michelin star. Yeah. So it's a very good restaurant. So just kind of give you an idea. That's probably the reason why it's my favorite Park Hyatt. Other people go, oh, Park Hyatt New York, which is nothing wrong. Park Hyatt Chicago is great as well. Park Hyatt Aviara here in Southern Cal, that's great as well. But I love the Park Hyatt in DC. My absolute favorite. If I can stay, you know, I have just wonderful memory. I think it's a great property, so I think you guys will like it. Okay. This is May 6th. This is going to be May 6th at FTU at the Park Hyatt, Washington, D.C., May 6th. Okay. All right. One last thing. If you are interested, here, I have an Easter special for everyone. If you haven't taken my hotel masterclass, if you haven't taken my points masterclass, okay, I'm going to offer both classes included in this package. Okay. Return again on June, come back July, come back August, September. So you can actually take the class again for another 4 more months. So you're going to basically get it for 6 months. And then I'm also going to give you a private 30-minute private Zoom consultation as well. And it's going to be $997. So $997 gets you the hotel masterclass, the points masterclass. By the way, I'm redoing the hotel masterclass, talk more about the status matches and the challenges and the free cruises. And then you can come back June, July, August, September. That'll be included. And then you'll also get a 30-minute with me private Zoom. So that'll be $997. Reach out to me. Oh, let me put in the link. So if you are interested in that, if you haven't taken it, and if you have already taken one of the classes, reach out to me. I can kind of work out something for you too, if you guys already taken one of the classes. If you've already taken one of the classes, okay, I'm going to give you guys a pretty big discount if you've already taken one of the classes. So if you've already taken one of them, like the hotel or only the points or only the hotel, I'm going to take off a huge discount on that just because you've already taken one of the two. But this is my Easter special. This will run until, what do I have it till? My class is next week. We start next week already. We start on the 17th. So this will run for a week. So it will end on the 16th of next week. Okay, so you guys have a week. Make sure you guys sign up. If you are interested in one of the classes, I have a big discount for you. Okay. Any other questions? Let me see here. Did I hijack your name? No, this is my reminder, by the way. This is my reminder for this here was my reminder for Michael. I'm reminding you, Michael, you're next. You're up whenever you're ready. So I'd love to have you. Okay. I did not hijack your name. This is my reminder to say, when you guys come back, we're going to talk about Customs and Border Patrol and TSA pre-check and all those kind of things. All right. Let's see. Did I ever miss anything else? Oh, yes. Thank you, Peggy, for the, yeah, if you are interested in signing up for FTU, Peggy put in the link right there for it. That is my link. That's the way I can track, make sure you guys are coming. That is separate than the reception. I just want to let you know. So there's that. That's going to be during the day. That'll be like 8 in the morning. All the way through. We're going to talk about MS. We're going to talk about how to strategize. We're going to talk about Hyatt. I have Jamie Larunas, who's an AA expert, as well as Hyatt, guy as well. So he'll be hosting the panel with me. Let me see what else. Oh, one thing. Oh, I want to ask you. Oh, there's one thing. I'm over time, but I need to do this. Can you all see me?
Yep.
Okay, let me do this. Share screen. One. Can you hear me? Oh, let's see here. Now you hear me, but you didn't hear me before, right?
You're back now.
Yeah, we hear you now. There's no video, but we can hear you. There's a little echo.
I'm trying to do something cool. Can you see my screen? No. Let's see.
No, no video.
Let's see here. Can you hear me? Okay, let's see this. Is that a yes? You can hear me?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
we can
good.
hear you. Oh, now we
You can
can
hear
see
me
you.
now. You can see me
Yes.
now. Can you see my screen?
Yes, and there's no echo. No screen.
No screen.
We see your face. Oh, now we are about to see your screen. Yes, screen broadcast.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Can you see this now?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
great. Okay, good. I was trying to learn. I'm trying to learn from my Instagram coaches here. Oh gosh. All right. So here's the thing. I want to share with you guys this cool feature. Some of you probably heard of it, but you never seen it yet. But here's the thing. You can actually now use point.me on the go. And the way I would say this, since many of you already signed up for the Built program, not necessarily the credit card, but just the loyalty program, in there, you actually can take a look at what the cost of a flight is versus the points. So if you actually go in here and let's just say we put in JFK here, for example, and I'm going to LAX, let's just say. Okay, so you actually can do a search now on the app, and it actually has an integration with point.me. So you actually can see what it would be via the portal versus if you transferred it, which is a really nice option that was not available, just a couple months ago. So this is a new feature. So you can go in the system. If you have built points, you can actually take a look now, and it makes it really, really simple. So all you got to do is put in the dates. In this particular case, I have JFK to LAX. And I see here on JetBlue 298. Now, if I just need to go to the very top and I hit transfer, I can do the same thing, and they'll do a search for me. So I see 12,000. So you actually can now compare what would be in the portal at 298 versus you click on the right side where it says transfer, and then you'll be able to see what it costs if you transfer your bill points to American and this is why, folks, I think you guys should collect bill points. This is the reason why. Because bill points can transfer American, and nobody can transfer American. Not Citi, which is like the damn issuer for American. They can't even transfer to it. Barclays can't even transfer to it. Neither Amex or any of them. So when people talk about why why you want to get American miles is because take a look. It's just 12.5. And I mean, can we go to other airlines? Yeah, absolutely. But it's going to start going up. It's going to start going up. So usually they're showing here from the lowest to the highest. So just want to make sure everybody's aware. Anyone have a question on this? See, you can see here, even United, I think the lowest was 18.3 in this particular case. So, if you have Chase, you can move it to United. But, now we're talking double the cost here. So American still wins from that perspective. Or, you can go, okay, I don't want to use my points for that. I want to use it on cash. So you can actually see. So I actually think for on the go, built integration with Point. Now, Point.me doesn't have every airline, but it has all the airlines that Built has a relationship with, which is, at least about 10 or 11 different partners already. So, and they have they've cherry picked the ones they like. So that's really good. And I anticipate they'll have more. All right. Anyone have questions?
Do you have any suggestions on how to get Built points outside of the credit card?
Outside the credit card. So if you don't have the credit card, how else can you get points?